All right, so good afternoon and welcome to your Grammar for Ielts lecture. So for today, we only have one goal, for us to understand the level of grammar that we need ourselves to have, to equip ourselves with grammar information, grammar accuracy for the IELTS examination. So our topic, Grammar for IELTS, will cover the following, but of course, it is not only limited to the following. Pronouns, including the relative, indefinite, and the use of your one and ones. Pronoun antecedent agreement would also be included. Now for articles, we have the definite and indefinite articles. And then we have the quantifiers. Now for verb, I am going to give you an idea. What is the difference between the present progressive and the simple present? And also the use of your present perfect compared with your simple past. Now for sentence structures, we also have the run-on sentences, okay? So the run-on sentences, they have the difference between the comma splices. We also have the sentence fragment, parallel structure, and lastly, your preposition. So guys, I will not be restarting my lecture anymore because I am still having some technical difficulties about my camera. So I hope that you can still understand and get the information that I want you guys to have, even though you're not seeing me. Okay, so of course, what's important is the information in front of us anyway. So that will be much better. Okay, so first of all, why these? Why pronouns, articles, quantifiers, verb tenses, sentence structures, and prepositions? Well, guys, to be honest, since teaching IELTS way back in 2016, these are all the common issues that many of my students are struggling with. So many of the common mistakes people commit in their speaking and writing subtests are pronouns, articles, quantifiers, verb tenses, sentence structures, and preposition. And that prompted the main branch, Sir Irvin, and major lecturers to come up with the idea, why not summarize all these errors? Because you keep on seeing them. They are fed up. We are fed up with seeing these errors. So we want to end this once and for all. So how? Of course, we need to do a review. So this is exactly what you're doing. You are reviewing for IELTS. And technically, that is what we're doing. I am sharing to you the information, how to make use of your pronoun, articles, quantifiers, verb tenses, sentence structures, prepositions accurately. That is the reason. Okay, now pronouns. So let us first understand what a pronoun is. So when you say pronoun, the only thing you should know is that these are words to replace nouns with. These are technically your noun substitutes. Okay, so these are your noun substitutes. So when you say noun substitutes, what we're trying to do here is that your nouns are not allowed to be repeated in your essay, in your letter, in your statistical report, even, okay, even in your speaking. Now, that is where the pronoun comes into the picture. That's where it comes into the picture. Pronoun allows us to replace this word with another. And you know what? Pronouns can be repeated much more often than nouns. So obviously, we have the very basic use of your pronoun. We have the he, she, right? The gender pronouns. We have the plural. You have the them, they. You have the first person plural, we. You have the us. So those are very common. And I believe you guys are already knowledgeable about these common pronouns. But some of the students are using, listen to me, they are using relative pronouns because their sentences are long, and that is the reason of relative pronouns existence. If you want to put ideas, multiple ideas in one sentence, you need to use your relative pronouns. And your relative pronouns, same goes with the usual pronouns. We have the cases. You have the subjective case, you have the objective case, you have the possessive case. Sir, can you give me a recap? What are the cases of pronouns? Okay, for example lang ito ha. So he. When you say he, this is a subjective case of pronoun for a male person singular. Si him, this is the objective case of pronoun for a male person singular, and si possessive, si his. So if I'm going to use them in a sentence, of course, he, siya dapat yung matatagpuan sa beginning. Diba? Yun yung, yun yung purpose nila eh. Si him, dapat matatagpuan yan sa end. At si his is for ownership. So bigyan ko kayo ng example ha. Alright. He is my uncle. So yung subject ko, he is nasa harap. Alright. Now, if I want to use the same gender pronoun, singular, for a male person, pero ilalagay ko siya sa huli, my uncle is him. So si him, para siya sa huli. So lahat ng objective case ng pronoun, nasa huli. Lahat ng subjective case ng pronoun, nasa unahan. Si possessive, regardless of where you put it, lagay mo man siya sa harap, lagay mo man siya sa likod, the possessive case pertains to the ownership. Diba? His car. This is his car. His car is parked over there. Ayan. So pwede mapunta siya sa harap, pwede mapunta siya sa huli. Kaya guys, may mga occasions na may nagpapa-speaking sa akin. Merong nagra-writing sa akin. Tapos makikita ko or maririnig ko, me and my husband. Yan, ganyan sila magsalita. Or me and my daughter. Yan. So the problem kasi, me, yan ha, listen to me. Me is an objective pronoun. So what makes this wrong is that si me, ilalagay natin siya dapat sa huli. Alright? So it should be my daughter and I. My husband and I. So si me, dapat sa huli. O halimbawa, my daughter and I went to the mall yesterday. Eh sir, gusto ko pa rin talaga me and my daughter eh. Diba? Yesterday, me and my daughter went to the mall. Diba? So ilalagay mo siya, it's either in the middle or in the end. Basta if you guys are trying to put two pronouns, lagi niyong tatandaan na, if we're trying to put two subjects, two pronouns, one subject, one noun, one pronoun, either, okay? Tanggalin mo yung isa para makita mo kung tama siya. Alright? So para po sa complete list ng ating pronoun, kasi guys, I have already covered this in my Grammar 1. Grammar 1 is your subject. This is where I discussed your noun and pronoun. So yung mga objective case, subjective case, possessive case, nandun po yan sa Grammar 1. So if you can wait, attend Grammar 1 for the next cycle, okay? Or if you will not be able to wait for Grammar 1, ask for the replay for the Grammar 1. Nandun yun, subject. Now, see, relative pronoun, since it is also considered as a pronoun, okay, let us get back to the real business here. Relative pronoun, you have the following. You have who and which, okay, and then you have your that. Now, here's the thing, okay? So, meron tayo tinatawag na definite and indefinite clause, all right? So, definite clause, ang aim niyan is to give essential information. But si indefinite clause, regardless of whether you put your pronoun, regardless of whether you put the clause itself, your sentence can function on its own. So let us cut to the chase. Let me simplify this. So if you are going to use your who, which, and that, because your purpose is to add more information, you're on the right track. Okay? But the thing is, if you are trying to add more information, you shouldn't use your who, which, and that as your relative pronouns, because the problem is if you cannot use it accurately, it will only become a grammatical liability. Diba? Example, the bag which I own is inside a car. Now, this is exactly what I am pertaining to the indefinite pronoun, the bag to. No, the bag, comma, which I own, comma, is inside a car. Well, you see, you can do the exact same thing without changing anything just by changing sentence structure like this. My bag is inside a car. You know, many people like to use which, they like to use who, they like to use that. The problem is you have to understand where is your essential clause, where is your definite or indefinite clause. So you have to categorize pa. And look at this, you will be using a comma before and after the clause itself. Pero pwede naman palang my bag is inside the car. Di ba? So all I'm trying to say here is for this to make sense, the simple your sentences are, the more accurate it becomes because it allows you for a much better grammar control. Okay, I cannot highlight this enough, all right? The simple the sentences are, the better grammar control you will have. Because, you know, by all technicalities, this one is actually very complicated because of the comma, because of the definite clause that you need to understand first. But of course, for the sake of teaching, I am going to still let you know how to use the subjective, objective, and possessive cases of these relative pronoun. So it's very easy. If you're going to use your who, okay, who, which, and that, you will be using them in the beginning. If you're going to use who, which, and that, you can use it in the end. Except for who, because you can also use whom. Now, sir, I am having some problem. All right. I went to the teacher. So dahil meron na po ako ditong I na pronoun, at saka meron pa ako isa pang subject, ibig sabihin po, I'm finished with the subjective case. Therefore, I need to go to the objective case, right? Yes. I went to the teacher whom knows or whom I know very well. I went to the teacher whom I know very well. So that's the thing. Sir, why in some cases I am seeing po na who I know very well and whom I know very well? So here is a very important part, okay? Because who and whom, take a look at that. Who and whom, they are both accepted, okay? Both as a subjective and an objective case. So if you don't know how to use whom, you can use who para sa harapan, para sa hulihan. Wala ka nang tatandaan pa na extra. So who, which, and that. Now for who, you can only use it for people. So which, you can only use it for things. But that, you can use it for both people and things. Diba? Yes, you can use it for both people and things. Let me give you an example, all right? The dog that my brother is over there. The dog that my brother liked is over there. O pwede namang that my brother liked na lang. Para hindi past tense. Alright, the dog that my brother liked is over there. Okay. Now what about, gawin natin siyang which. The dog which my brother liked. Nakikita yung difference, ha? Comma is over there. So if you're going to use that, remember, if you're going to use that, either in the beginning or in the end of your sentence, there is no need for you to use a comma before and after the clause. You only need to pay attention to the idea that you're trying to portray. But in this case, the dog which my brother liked, comma, is over there, which until like, that is what we call the definite clause. So you will be putting a comma before and a comma after the clause. All right. So when do we put your relative pronouns? Where specifically? Well, firstly, we put the relative pronoun after a noun to make it clear which person or thing you are talking about. Let's say, my doctor, okay, or the doctor who my mom knows is next door. So I am telling you that the doctor is not just any other doctor, but this is a doctor that my mom personally knows. Sir, I have problems with relative pronouns. I don't want to use relative pronouns anymore. Okay, how can I change this to doctor who my mom knows is next door? Well, simply put, you can use something like my mom knows the doctor next door, right? My mom knows the doctor next door. See, there's no need for you to put which, put a comma before to understand where's the definite clause. That's it. My mom knows the doctor next door. You still get the thought. You remove the complication in your sentence. So all I'm trying to say here are two things. Okay, it's very simple. If you know how to use a relative pronoun, use it, because we use relative pronouns to lengthen a sentence. Well, practically, you will not hear me, you will not getting an information from me na pahabain nyo ang sentence nyo. Dagdagan nyo ng information ang sentence nyo. No. What you will hear from me is this. Keep your sentences simple so that you may be able to get a much better overall control in your grammar. So if the who, which, and that, the relative pronouns, they are a totally different idea, a totally new concept to you, please refrain from using them because it will not make your grammar more accurate. It will only make it worse. All right. So, sir, why are you still teaching this? Well, of course, for the sake of teaching. I am teaching you because this is something that still needs to be taught. Whether or not you will be using it or not, it depends on you. But my suggestion is, kung malapit ng exam, ito ay panibagong impormasyon para sa'yo, wag mo nang gamitin kung mahihirapan ka lang. Nagkakaintindihan po ba tayong lahat? Mga umattend sa akin today. LP, Mai, Nas, Riza, and Vance. Nagkakaintindihan po ba tayong lahat?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. If you know, if you can use it, use it. I taught you how to use it. If you don't know, then that's fine. There are so many ways to tell the sentence without using them. Diba? And you are avoiding comma, definite clause problem, and misuse of relative pronoun. Oh, paano naman tong whose? Diba? So si whose possessive, pagmamayari. O halimbawa, GMA, diba? Whose doors are always open to talents, signed a deal with my brother. Diba? GMA, whose doors? Kaninong door? Sa GMA. Diba? So, kanino, ibig sabihin ng whose. Alright. Pwede rin naman, the lady whose purse is red Red was once my teacher. Alam mo ba yung lady na yun, yung pula yung pitaka? Teacher ko siya before. And so the lady whose purse is red was once my teacher. So that is how you use the whose. Kung kanino yun, yung item. All right. So of course, possessive, we're only going to talk about things here. All right. So that's how you use the who and whose. All right. Now, okay. As I've mentioned, this is not something that you should worry about. I have discussed this before. So whom can also be used as the object of a verb or preposition. But nowadays, we normally use who. Okay? So yung who, like what I've said, if you're going to use who, you don't know where to put who. Pwede ba siya sa harap? Yes. Pwede ba siya sa huli? Pwede. But the problem is si whom. Si whom, hindi siya pwedeng ilagay sa harap. So if you're going to remember them, at medyo let's say, di ba, yung brain natin, di ba, lalo yung mga matatanda na, marami na tayong matatandang students. Ilang gigabytes lang ang capacity ng brain. So kung tatandaan nyo, si whom at saka si who, tandaan nyo lang si who. Pwede kasi siyang ilagay sa harap, pwede siyang ilagay sa likod. Di ba? It's so simple to remember. So si who. Para hindi ka malito. Okay. Now, indefinite pronouns. May mga question po ba doon po sa ating relative pronoun, relative clauses, bago tayo mag-move on sa indefinite pronoun?
Sir, wala naman po.
Okay. So, since you don't have any questions, that prompts me to proceed to the next lecture. Indefinite pronoun. So when you say indefinite pronoun, the key here is the word indefinite. Indefinite, pag sabing indefinite, not particular. Kaya nga, not definite. Not particular, non-specific. So pag sinabi kong somebody, halimbawa lang ha, somebody, ang ibig sabihin ko nun, may tao. Pero hindi ko kilala kung sino. Hindi ko alam itsura niya, hindi ko alam kung ano yung suot niyang pantalon, hindi ko alam kung ano yung kulay ng buhok niya. Basta alam ko tao. Diba? So when you say somebody, someone, something, all right? So it's easy to understand. Yung indefinite pronoun po natin, nagsisimula po yan, all right, sa apat na prefix. All right? So we have the some, we have the any, meron tayong every, at meron tayong no. Ngayon, all you need to do is to add. All right? Body, one, para sa tao. Somebody, someone, anybody, anyone, everybody, everyone, nobody, no one. Para sa tao yon. And if you're going to put thing, something, anything, everything, nothing, it means sa bagay yon. Okay. So, I'm going to highlight this using red. Ito po ay para sa tao. Ito naman po ay para sa bagay. Yan. All right. So it's easy to remember, ha? All right. So the indefinite pronouns refer to people or things without saying exactly who or what they are. Pronouns ending in body or one are used for people, and pronouns ending in thing are used for things. Use a singular verb. Ayan. Singular verb after an indefinite pronoun. Makinig. Singular verb. So pag sinabi po pala natin somebody, halimbawa lang, somebody is responsible. So anong verb ginamit natin? Is. And ano yung is? Singular. Bakit? Somebody, somebody, anybody, nobody, everybody, someone, anyone, no one, everyone, something, anything, nothing, everything. Lahat po ng words na nakikita nyo sa table above. Singular verb. Someone has, anyone makes, no one does, nothing else matters. Everybody has, nobody was, anybody is, someone breaks. So all the verbs that you're going to put together Sa lahat po ng words na nakikita natin sa taas, singular verb. Okay. Now, here's the crazy part. Because if we're going to, listen, if we're going to refer back to the indefinite pronoun, ibig sabihin, nabanggit ko na yung pronoun, nabanggit ko na yung anybody, nabanggit ko na yung someone, nabanggit ko na yung anybody, nabanggit ko na yung anyone, nabanggit ko na yung nobody, no one, I have already used it either in my sentence or in my speech. Sa madaling sabi, nasulat ko na, nasabi ko na. I-refer ko ulit sila. Sila ulit Si somebody ulit yung sasabihin ko Yes, in that case, gagamit ka na ng plural noun. Okay, sir, paano po yan? Medyo nalilito po ako. Bigyan nyo nga po kami ng example. Kung ano problema. Okay? Yan ang binabayaran nyo dito No? Alright. So, example lang to. Everyone must submit. Okay? Everyone must submit. Tignan nyo, i-refer ko siya ulit Everyone's assignment. Sir, wait lang. Nabanggit na po si everyone. According to the rule, hindi na po natin pwedeng gamitin si everyone. So gumamit po kayo dito ng everyone's. Yes. Ngayon, papalitan po natin itong si everyone ng pronoun. Yes. Anong pronoun? Plural. So everyone must submit their assignment. Nakuha? So, ito yung everyone na indefinite pronoun. I am going to refer back to that pronoun, si everyone na naman. Hindi ko na pwedeng sabihin everyone's. Hindi ko pwedeng gamitin yun kasi repetitive Di ba? So, I will be using a plural pronoun there. Okay. Okay, isa pa. All right. Everybody is expected to bring food. They should cooperate. Everybody is expected to bring their food or bring food. They should cooperate because we will not be able to eat. Di ba? Everybody, I will refer back to sila na naman. Si everybody na naman yon. So they na yon. Okay. So, I hope I made sense there. Huwag kang mag-alala, marami pa tayong sample. Alright? So we still have a lot of things to discuss. An S, listen. An S can be added to an indefinite pronoun to make a possessive. Okay, makinig mabuti alam ko may nagmamay-ari nung payong. Siyempre, sino ba naman magmamay-ari nung payong kundi tao? Tama ba? Meron ka bang kilalang multo na nagmamay-ari ng payong? May?
Sir, wala po.
Oo. O may kilala ka bang puno na may-ari siya ng payong? Diba? Wala. Ang simple, alam natin na tao yun. Alam natin na yung payong na yun may nagmamay-ari. So, pag possessive, di ba? Someone's umbrella. Someone's umbrella. Umbrella ng kung sino. Kasi we're not so sure kung sino Kaya nga gumamit ako ng someone But if I'm using the possession of that someone, di ba? Lalagyan ko siya ng apostrophe S. Simple lang Halimbawa, pag mamay-ari ko yung laptop, Kevin's laptop. Pag mamay-ari ni Vance, halimbawa, yung cellphone, Vance. Alright, ang Vance mo ba, Sir Vance, ay S? Tama ba? S ba, Sir Vance?
Z na lang, sir, para parang
Z.
sapatos.
Hindi, gawin nating S. Kasi gusto kong gamitin yung example. Paano tayo maglalagay ng possessive kung S na mismo yung huli? Ganyan ba? Alright, pag ganun guys, nakita nyo sa S nagtatapos yung name at tanggalin nyo na yung S. Vance, apostrophe, Vance, cellphone. Kasi ang nakikita ko kadalasan, paggamit na lang ng apostrophe S, mali pa. Di ba? Ginagawa niyong plural, nilalagyan niyo ng apostrophe. Daig pa kayo ng grade 2. Okay? So you have to use si apostrophe S. Kailan mo lang gagamitin si apostrophe S? Kailan mo lang gagamitin si apostrophe S? When are you going to use the apostrophe S? If you are pertaining to ownership. If you are pertaining to property. Okay? If you're pertaining to possession, apostrophe S. Hindi yan para sa plural. Ha? Okay. Now, apostrophe S, I hope that you guys understand kung paano maglagay. So, pwede rin to. Everybody's body. Okay, isa pa. Everybody's business. Sir, paano naman po ito? Okay, makinig mabuti ha. Baka medyo malito yung iba. Wag pong malilito, wag pong malilito. Okay. Sir, ano naman po ito? Everybody's busy. Yan. Yan kasi, yung everybody na to, everybody is busy. Pinaikli mo yung everybody at saka yung is. Pero ang tanong, yan bang everybody is na to, gagawin mo ba itong ganito sa exam? Hindi maaari. Makinig maigi ha kung bakit hindi maaari. Bakit hindi ka pwedeng gumamit ng ganito, okay, ng ganyan, para dito. Okay? Bakit? Kasi, no contractions are allowed in formal writing. Malinaw ba? LP, Mai, Nas, Riza, Vance, and for my future replay watchers, malinaw po ba yon? Hindi
Yes,
po
sir.
tayo gagamit nun.
Yes, sir.
Clear.
No contraction. Kaya, hindi ka gagamit na to ng everybody is busy na apostrophe S. Gagamitin mo lang si apostrophe S sa isang pagkakataon. At yon ay kapag nag-showcase ka, if you're trying to pertain to the ownership of someone. If you're trying to pertain to the property of someone. At hindi ang apostrophe S para sa is na contraction. Gusto ko lang linawin ha. Gusto ko lang siyang i-highlight. Okay. Kasi baka magkalituhan. Marami tayong ipapasok na information ngayon sa atin. So I want you guys to be able to understand this in a very simple manner. Okay. Ngayon, simulan naman natin si no. Okay. Madalas natin nakikita, madalas natin napapakinggan, madalas natin napapanood. Okay? Sa Western scene, it could be a movie, it could be a hip-hop song, pwede rin namang rock music. But nakikita natin madalas to yung I do not have nothing. Yan. May do not na, may nothing pa. Ang tawag sa case na to ay double negative. Okay, so pag sinabing double negative, yan po ay isang liability sa grammar in terms of adjective use. So, isa lang ang ibig sabihin. Sa isang sentence, hindi dapat magkaroon ng dalawang negative. Example, no one has nothing. May no one ka na. May nothing ka pa. Hindi pwedeng mag-exist ang dalawang no, dalawang not, dalawang negative sa isang sentence. Sir, ano po ang mas tama? Makinig ha, ano po ba ang mas tama? Anyone has nothing or no one has anything? Yan. Ano po ba ang mas tama? Anyone has nothing or no one has anything? Sige, tanungin natin si Riza. Riza, ano ang tama? Anyone has nothing or no one has anything?
No one has anything po, sir.
Correct. No one has anything. Tatandaan ha, kung meron mang negative sa inyong clause, ang negative clause na yon, yung no na no one, nothing, at saka nobody ang magiging subject. Malinaw ha, hindi any, tsaka no. Malinaw po? Okay, let me clarify ha. Let me clarify. Walang pinagbago. Okay, I'm going to translate this in English. Walang pinagbago. Ang tama bang translation? Delete ko muna yung ibang drawing. Yan. Walang pinagbago. Yan. Ang tama ba dito is anything has not changed or nothing has changed. Tatanungin kita. LP. Ikaw naman, LP. Ano ang tama? Anything has not changed or nothing has changed. LP?
Yes, sir. Nothing has
Yes.
changed, sir.
Nothing has changed. Tama. Tama ka, LP. So nagets ni LP, and I believe everyone also understood this. Yung anything, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin. Makinig. Okay, si anything, hindi mo siya pwedeng gamitin together with a negative clause. Dahil kung merong anything at saka may negative, magiging na siyang nothing. Okay. Anything has not changed? Mali yun. Nothing has changed. Ding! That is correct. Okay. Now, pumunta naman tayo sa susunod nating topic. Okay, never use another negative. Alam nyo na yan. Use else after indefinite pronoun to refer to people or things in addition to the ones already mentioned. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin natin kapag nakakita po tayo ng else? Else. Else. All right. So, pag sinabi po nating else, napakasimple yan. Sa Tagalog, iba. Iba. All right? So, halimbawa, mayroon na siyang iba. Mayroon na ba siyang iba, Riza?
Sir, ano po ulit yun? Sorry po.
Joke lang, Riza. Meron na ba siyang iba, Riza?
Hindi ko po alam, sir.
Hindi na daw niya, yan, gayahin niya si Riza. Hindi na niya tinitingnan yung Facebook at social media nung ex niya. No? So pag sinabi po nating else, mayroong iba. Halimbawa, he is, ano ba yan? He is dating someone else. Mayroon na siyang dinedate na iba. Okay, malinaw tayo dyan, ha? Alright. My mom. Okay, did your mom cook a fritada? No. My mom is cooking something else. Okay. Sabi, nagluluto siya ng ibang putahe. All right. Just get the wrench. Everything else can go. Just get the wrench. Everything else can go. Like, wrench lang kunin mo. Lahat ng yan. Pwede na yung hindi dalhin. Lahat ng iba-iba na yan. Alright? So that is your else. So sir, what about the possessive po ng else? Alright, halimbawa lang. Pagka meron kang possessive para sa else, ganito na ang magiging sentence structure mo. Okay. Is this your umbrella? No. It is not mine. I think it is someone else's. I think it's not mine. It's not mine. I think it's someone else's. Is that your car? No. It is somebody else's car. It's somebody else's car. It's not my car. It's somebody else's car. They have the same color though. Diba? So si else, para sa iba, si else's, pagmamayari ng iba. Okay? So remember that guys ha? Si else, in Tagalog, iba. Pag sinabi nating else's, somebody else's, nobody else's car, everybody else's business. Okay? No one else's car, but everyone else's assignment. So possession. Okay. So dun mo ilalagay po yung possession sa else apostrophe s. Okay. Now, napaka-basic nito ha. Everyone ha. Do you guys have any question sa else? Tsaka sa else's? Anyone?
Wala naman po, sir. Here po.
Kaya sabi, anyone else? Wala na bang iba? Ibig sabihin nun. Diba? I just want to add that. Okay, next. We're done with indefinite pronoun. Dito na tayo sa pronoun antecedent agreement. Guys, kasama po ito sa ating quiz mamaya. Yes, may quiz po tayo lahat. So lahat po ng umattend sa akin, napakaswerte nyo. Kayo po ay mapalad. LP, Mai, Nas, Riza, and Vandal Ryan. Napakamapalad nyo dahil may hinanda akong quiz para sa inyo. Okay? So, at kasama po itong si pronoun antecedent agreement sa ating quiz. So ano lang ba ang ibig sabihin ng pronoun antecedent agreement? It's so simple, guys. All right? Use a pronoun to refer to a noun mentioned earlier in the text. This noun is called the antecedent of the pronoun. Okay, I believe a lot of you will be enlightened by this lecture, especially with the improper use of many pronouns in your sentences. So the first thing is that the pronoun must agree with its antecedent both in number and in person. That means if the antecedent is a singular noun, then the pronoun used to refer to it too should be singular in number. So halimbawa, sinabi natin, di ba? Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the president of the United States of America. He is the former vice president. Joe Biden is the president of the USA. He is the former vice president of Barack Obama. Example lang. Okay. Now, you see that Joe Biden is my noun. Therefore, I used he to refer to Joe Biden because obviously I am going to use the singular male pronoun, which is he. Oh, it's so simple. Now, the problem here becomes great if we don't know the gender of the person. Tulad ng mga tinatawag natin mga general subject. Halimbawa, the writer talks to his, or the writer is talking to his/her audience. Yung iba kasing ginagawa, the writer talks to his audience. Eh, paano kung babae yung writer? Oh, sir, gawin kong his or her para safe. But this is no longer necessary. Sometimes, pwede mo nang alisin yung his or her if you're not so sure. But there are occasions tulad ng the teacher must conduct his/her lessons. So instead of using a singular subject, especially in your essay, nasa essay writing tayo, I do not suggest the use of singular example. Mas maganda, plural, para the teachers must conduct their lessons properly. Example lang yan. So if you're going to pluralize your subjects, if you're going to pluralize your main ideas, then you can use the plural pronoun to replace it. Di ka na mahirapan kung mag-his ka ba or mag-her ka ba. And pay attention ha, do not make the genderless noun na maging male. The teacher must conduct his lessons properly. Sir, yun po kasi yung turo sa amin eh. Diba? Eh, kailan ka pa tinuruan? 1985. 1983. Kailan ka pa nag-elementary? Diba? 5 taon pagkatapos pumutok ng pinatubo. Eh, luman-luma na yung impormasyon na alam mo. Diba? So, hindi na tulad dati na pag hindi natin alam yung gender, the teacher must conduct his na lang basta. Diba? That is gender inappropriate. Okay. So, if you want to make this a gender neutral, diba? Mga gender neutral noun. Even though yung iba nating ginagamit na words, ha, be careful. Tulad ng mankind, kaya hindi nyo nakikita sa mga essay natin kasi yung, ano naman yung womankind, di ba? Kaya nga, humanity ang ginagamit natin dyan. What about fireman? Paano naman yung mga babaeng fireman? Di ba? Kaya nga, firefighter na ang ginagamit natin. Okay. Oh. Ano pa? Air hostess. Di ba? Air hostess. Dito sa Philippines, so, hostess. Ano ba yun? Di ba? So, air hostess, cabin crew. Ano pa? Manpower. Di ba? Human resource. To use a gender neutral. So, hindi siya pang lalaki lang. Congressman. Representative. Use the gender neutral subjects. Okay. Use the pronouns either, neither. They are also singular. The need for pronoun antecedent agreement doesn't create any problems. Again, when the gender is clearly specified, Joe Biden, we know that Joe Biden is a male person. But when the sex of the person is not mentioned, finding a pronoun that agrees with its antecedent can be difficult. Tulad ng the teacher, the nurse, the pilot. So we cannot assume what their genders are, but we can make the structure of our sentence proper para ma-avoid natin yung gender confusion. So ang ating solution is to make your subject plural para hindi na tayo mamili pa sa singular gender pronoun. So pluralize your subjects. That is our tip. So halimbawa, ito, a student must hand in his assignment, di ba? So dapat i-pluralize natin. Students must hand in their assignments, or if it can't be helped, a student, isa lang po talaga, sir eh. Gusto ko po talaga isa lang eh. O the his or her, his/her, pwede rin yun. But eto nga kasi masyadong repetitive yung his or her, his or her. Like a student must hand in his or her assignment before the end of his/her class so that his/her parents will be able to make his or her proud. Diba? So, repetitive yung paggamit ng his/her. So, it's better to pluralize to avoid gender bias. So, pronoun antecedent agreement. Isa pa ha, yung mga academic, ang dami yung mistakes pagdating sa task 1. Gagamit kayo ng subject. Halimbawa, yung subject, fruit production o eat. Ang ginagawa, they. Diba? The audience share for television is, or the audience share for television was. So pag pinalitan, audience share, it lang yan, nagiging they. Kasi akala nila male and female pa rin yung mini-measure. So be careful. kung ano yung noun na nauna, yun, dun mag-a-agree yung pronoun. Kaya nga antecedent eh. Yung word na nauna sa kanya, dun siya mag-a-agree. Noun, pronoun, antecedent agreement. Okay. Sir, I do not have any words to replace po yung pronoun. I don't have any words to replace po yung aking subject. So ginagamit natin yung one at saka once. Ito napaka-handy ng mga words na yan. So halimbawa, wala na akong pamalit sa children. Hindi naman daw pwede yung kids kasi masyado tong informal. Diba? So anong ginagawa natin? Ginagawa nating young ones. Tulad ka ng sentence, di ba? Okay. The colors are the ones seen on the flag. The colors are the ones seen on the flag. Halimbawa, DOH is the one responsible. Diba? Department of Health is the department responsible. Papalitan natin yung department 1. Is the one responsible for tallying the daily COVID cases. Yan. Is the one responsible. These are the ones seen on the flag. These are the colors. The colors are yellow, white, red, and blue. These are the ones seen on the flag. DOH is the one responsible for tallying the daily COVID cases. So, if you do not have any word to replace the subject, wala pang pamalit, gamitin po natin si one para sa singular at si ones naman po kung ito ay plural. Now, articles. Ayan, this is very elementary level, people, ha? Okay. Article a, and the. Okay. So when you say article a, okay, nilalagay po natin ito together with a consonant sound. Diba? A laptop. Yan. Para lang sa singular, ha? So si indefinite article is only for a singular subject. A laptop, a car, di ba? A car, a phone, a tree. So lahat na nagsisimula po sa hindi sa consonant letter, kung hindi sa consonant sound. Kasi guys, remember ha, meron po tayong, okay, mayroon po tayong letter H na silent. Halimbawa, honest, hour, air, herb. Yung mga yan, kahit siya po ay nagsistart sa letter H, makinig ng mabuti. Alright? Even though they begin with letter H, we are still going to use the article A. Okay? Sorry. N. Yan. Sir, kahit na po sa consonant po siya nag-start, an honest, an hour, an air, an herb. He is an honest man. I'll see you in an hour. He is an heir to the throne, and we need an herb to make this dish flavorful. Examples. Okay? So you only use the indefinite article A sa sounds, ha, hindi po tayo nagbabase sa letter. Kasi like what I've said, yung letter H may silent letters po siya na hindi natin binabanggit yung H, but yung O ng honest, yung O ng hour, yung E ng air, and then O ng herb. Okay? So silent yung letter H, so you will still be using the article N para sa ganong cases. Okay, I hope we're clear. Alright. So, kailan po? When do we use the a and an? So, again, para lang malinaw sa lahat, si an, ginagamit po natin yan para sa vowel or vowel sound, di ba? An opinion, an apple, an orange, an excellent example. Yan. So, we use the article a and an if the hearer, yung kausap, or the reader, yung nagbabasa, sa tingin mo, hindi niya alam exactly which one we're referring to. Kasi pwedeng part ito ng group eh. Okay? Diba? An apple in the basket. So hindi ko alam kung anong specific na apple yung pinapertain mo. Okay. So article A and article an only for singular subject. What about the definite article the? Guys, listen carefully ha. The article the is the most frequent word in the English language. There is a possibility that you will be using a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 12 words na may the. What if, wag naman sana, what if all those the ay mali? So of course, they will affect your grammar score kung lahat ng the na yun ay mali. So dapat, we have to make sure that we will be using the properly. Okay. Now, the, we use it in front of a noun when you believe that the hearer or reader knows exactly what you are referring to. Diba? The internet. Alam ko naman siguro kung alam nyo kung anong internet. Okay? The computer. The door. Diba? The house. So, ito yung clue, guys, sa paggamit ng article. The first time you are going to mention something, use article A. I live in a house. The house. And when you're going to mention it again, use the article the. I live in a house. The house is 5 kilometers away from here. So article A, article N, and the article the. Once again, article the, ginagamit po natin yan for superlative, adjective. Kaya kayong mga academic nagagawa ng mga line graph, bar graph, pie chart at table, and you are going to mention that this is the highest, the greatest figure, the least percentage, the most number of applicants, the highest, the most. Basta nagtatapos sa EST, nagtatapos sa ST, the. Lagi siyang may the. Yes, sir. What about po si article A at saka si article an? Ginagamit din po ba natin siya sa adjective? Yes, ginagamit din natin siya sa adjective. Si article A at saka si article an. Pag yung adjective mo, walang superlative degree. Halimbawa, an open door, a yellow car, an interesting argument, a green jacket. So, kapag hindi superlative, adjective lang basta, walang ER, walang EST, article A, article an. Kapag ito naman ay may EST at saka most, the. Sir, paano naman po yung ER at saka more? Halimbawa, more prosperous, higher, lower. Hindi mo siya lalagyan ng kahit anong article. Okay, ulitin natin. Pag A and an, positive degree. ER, more, no article. Superlative degree, EST, most, use the or the definite article. Okay, I hope we're clear. Quantifiers. Any questions, by the way? Sa chat, baka po may magtanong. I'm waiting. Kung may magtatanong po sa akin. Tingnan na nga natin kung gumagana na yung video. Any questions, guys? Wala? Okay. So, we're doing the quantifiers now because you don't have any questions. So what would be the quantifiers? Well, you know what? Quantifiers is a very simple thing. Nagamit natin to sa pagbibilang. Diba? So, how much or how many? It gives us information how much or how many. Well, you see, quantifier can be considered, okay, either as an adjective and a pronoun. So, pareho siyang pronoun, pareho siyang adjective. So, they function the same. All right, either way. Now, if your quantifier here, this one, I just want you guys to remember, meron po tayong dalawang uri ng noun. You know? Si count noun, nabibilang mo siya physically, nabibilang mo siya per piece. Halimbawa, person. Bilang ko like 2 person, 5 people, 6 people. Oh, ano pa? Ants, mga langgam. Pwede siya maging ant, pwede siya maging ants. Pwede siyang 1 million ants. Ayan. Phone, nabibilang yan. Phone, pwede siya maging phones. 5 phones, 13 phones, 250,000 phones. Okay, so yun si count noun. You can count it per piece, you can count it individually. So yun yung count noun. So now, si non-count, okay, si non-count, burahin ko muna tong si count, pati ka malito. Si non-count noun, the idea here is that even though it physically exists, you can physically count it, nasa concrete category pa rin. Okay. Concrete category pa rin. But you cannot count it physically. Halimbawa, sugar. Diba? Yan. Or oil. Or water. Well, may mga nag-exist sa language tulad ng sugars. We're talking about the variations of different types of sugars. Monosaccharide, disaccharides, polysaccharides. Pwede yun. We're talking about the oil, essential oils, different types of oil, water. We're talking about the different types of oceans. Pwede yun. But if your noun, listen carefully, if your noun is either in the liquid or powder form, okay, you will be using the non-count variation. So you will be using the non-count variation. Okay, so when you say non-count variation, it will be singular. So you cannot add S or ES to it, like juice, butter, coffee. Yan. So you'll be using the singular form. Ito yung according sa rule ha. This is the rule. So although you can argue differently in some other occasions, that is reserved doon sa occasions na yon, not here in the language used for non-count noun in its sentence structure. Now, kung hindi po natin sila pwedeng bilangin, because non-count technically you cannot count, kaya nga yung name is non-count eh. But there is a loop, okay? There is a strategy that you can measure them instead. Diba? Hindi na natin nabibilang ang asukal per piraso, per butel. Hindi natin nabibilang yung asin. Diba? Well, pwede mong bilangin, ito bahala. Like, halimbawa, si Riza, bored ka sa bahay nyo. Wala akong magawa, bilangin ko nga kung ilang pirasong asin meron kami sa bahay. Diba? O si Mai, tulog na yung mga anak ni Mai. Bilangin ko nga kung ilang piraso ng kape meron dun sa lalagyan namin. So kung bored kayo, pwede naman. Pwede nyo bilangin. Technically. But we do not measure them in the language use. Sorry, we do not count them in the language use, but we measure them instead. What do you mean by measure? Naglalagay tayo ng quantifier. So if we cannot measure water, maglalagay tayo ng bottle. Bottles of water. Pwedeng 6 bottles of water, pwedeng 8 bottles of water, pwedeng 200,000 bottles of water. Okay. What about sugar? Diba? So we can measure it by saying 3 teaspoons. 3 teaspoons of sugar, 5 tablespoons per kilos, di ba? 8 kilograms of sugar. So, nakita yung 3 teaspoon, 5 tablespoon, 8 kilograms. Ito po yung mga sample ng quantifier. But si quantifier na 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hindi lang po siya ang pwede natin gamitin. Pwede rin po tayong gumamit ng ibang way to count them. At ito siya. Si all, any, enough, less, a lot, lots of, more, most, okay, no, none of, and some. So, what do I mean po by this? So, both count noun and both non-count noun, pwede ko pong gamitin si all. Halimbawa, all. Okay, all. Count noun plural. All of the people. Any of the visitor. Less visits. A lot of lessons. Yan. Nakikita? So pwede ko pong gamitin yung mga words na nakikita po natin dito. Alright, where the words we're seeing here. All, any, enough, less, a lot of, lots of, more, most, no, none of, at saka some. Both para po sa count and non-count noun. So the ones I have mentioned, pwede siya sa nabibilang physically, laptop, phones, trees. Pwede din siya sa hindi nabibilang physically tulad ng sugar, salt, water, oil. All right. But ito naman po mga words ito like both, each, either, few, fewer, neither, and several. We can only use these words for the count nouns. And the count nouns, all right, pwede natin siyang gamitin for both. Let's say both the pupils, each chair, either options, a few individuals, fewer chairs, neither is a good option, several parties. Nabibilang mo siya physically. So that is your quantifiers. Okay. Don't worry. Meron akong table para sa quantifier. Okay. I don't have it here, but I will probably be sharing it to you as a photo. Isang photo lang yon. I'm going to share it both sa ating Facebook group and our Discord server as well. Okay. So para mas makita nyo siya in comparison. All right. So we use the quantifiers. Ito naman, kung meron tayong quantifiers para sa count noun lang, meron din tayong quantifiers para sa non-count. Ito nga, si a little sugar, a little respect. Guys, I just want to share, hindi lang po yung mga concrete noun ang pwede natin gamitin sa non-count noun, pati po yung mga abstract na may emotions, di ba? Emotions, at saka traits, behaviors, and values, di ba? Tulad ng respect. Ano pa? Tulad ng love, freedom, attention. Pwede natin gamitin. So, halimbawa, a little respect, not much attention, a bit of honesty, a little love, not much hate, a bit of freedom. Yan. So, ginagamit natin siya. A little salt, not much sugar, much less sugar, a bit of oil. Pwede rin. All right. Okay, that's for the quantifier. Singular quantifier, once again, ito siya. Use every or each with a singular noun to mean all. Never use a determiner. Huwag ka lang maglalagay ng the. That's it. Use both either and neither if talking about two people or things. We use a singular verb for nouns with either and neither. Yung exception to the rule, na-discuss na natin yan sa grammar 2. Okay, like either Kevin or his siblings. Either his siblings or Kevin. Kahit na saan mo ilagay yung S, singular pa rin yan basta si either present doon. Okay? Basta si either, si each, at saka si neither present doon sa sentence. Singular pa rin ang verb. Okay, eto na. When do we use the simple present tense? Okay, so we use the present tense, simple present, for facts or general truths. Okay, I'm going to use my checkbox here. All right, facts or general truths if you're pertaining to a fact that you're trying to explain, permanent situations, habits, future timetables, and narrating what happens in books, plays, or films, you'll be using the simple present tense. So, to be honest, we use the simple present tense most commonly in writing task to essay writing. Why? Because we are giving an argument that are based on facts and general truths. We're explaining some permanent situations, or perhaps we are going to explain some future timetables also included in your simple present. Now, it's very simple. All you have to do is to remember your basic subject-verb agreement, and that is your simple present already. So sir, ano po ba itong habits? O limbawa, mga bagay na nakasanayan o lagi kong ginagawa, di ba? Halimbawa, naglalaro ako ng tennis tuwing Saturday, di ba? I play tennis every Saturday. Sir, what if she, di ba? Babae. O she plays tennis. So subject is she, singular. So yung verb mo, play, may S, singular. Okay? So subject-verb agreement, you're just going to follow the basic subject-verb agreement. That is your simple present. So in essay writing, writing task 2, we use the simple present tense much more commonly as compared to any other situations. Okay? So if you're pertaining to giving some facts, telling some information, giving some truths about yourself, or perhaps about some ideas that you know, okay? Guys, it doesn't matter whether the truth is really true or not. For example, right? The earth is flat. You know that the earth isn't flat. But the thing is, the people who says this, or the people who wrote this, believes this to be true. So it doesn't matter whether the truth that you want to spill is the real truth or not. You know, what matters is the speaker or writer believes it to be true. Okay, the earth is flat. Cats like milk. My cat doesn't like milk. I have a cat. My cat doesn't like milk. So it means that I am generalizing. So cats like milk. No, I'm just giving you a general truth that I know. So it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. What matters is that the speaker or the writer believes it to be true. Okay. I just want to share that one to you. So kailan naman po si present progressive? So si present progressive, shout out ito, call out sa ating magiging replay lecture tomorrow, grammar 3 tenses. Okay, so i-explain ko rin po yan. But just to give you a clear insight of how we do the present progressive, it is the be verb in its present form. So huwag nating paligoy-ligoyin pa. Mamimili ka sa am, sa is, at saka sa are. And then, yung verb mo, dadagdagan mo siya ng ing. Halimbawa, is writing. Am listening. Yan. Are eating. Is watching. Yan. Halimbawa, I am listening to a grammar lecture now. She is eating some chocolates now. They are doing the assignment today. So kapag may nakita ka na nagpe-pertain sa now, guys, be careful. Alright, lalakihan ko ito. Sa now is a very vague, vague concept. Because now means today, right? At this very moment, pwede yung now, right? Now can mean this month. Now pa rin yun. Now can mean this century. So pag sinabi kong now, masyadong malalim yung ibig sabihin. Masyadong marami ang pinipertain niya na information. So now is a very big concept. Kasi pag nakita mo yung now, am, is, are, plus ing. Like, I am eating some chicken now. I am calling your mom now. Tatawagan ko siya. So, hindi lang naman po sa ganon, pwedeng gamitin yung am, is, are, tsaka verb with ing. Ginagamit din natin siya sa something that you are doing now or you are in the progress of doing. Example, I am studying to become a doctor. Nagkita kayo ng friend mo elementary sa coffee shop. Hey, what are you doing now? What are you up to now? Sabi niya. Sabi mo, I am studying to become a doctor. Ang ibig sabihin ba nun is mismo sa moment na yon nag-aaral ka para maging doktor? No. You are enrolled in a medicine course and you are in the process of finishing that course. Kasalukuyan kang nag-aaral bilang doktor. Kaya I am studying to become a doctor. A temporary situation, isang pangyayari na nagsimula some time ago, na nangyayari pa rin hanggang ngayon, na maaring itutuloy mo pa rin sa mga susunod pang panahon. That is the present progressive. Am, is, are, she is studying Japanese. Ngayon ba, nagsastudy siya, magkakasama tayo, nagsasamgyup tayo? Hindi. She is in the process of studying the Japanese language. It doesn't mean right at this very moment. Okay. So that, yes, Sir Vance.
Sir, is it advisable to use it during writing task 2 or not? Is it not that
Yung M
effective,
is
sir?
R?
No, sir. Yung present progressive, ing, verb plus
Yes,
ing.
yes, exactly. Well, the M is R plus ing. Meron din naman siyang gamit sa writing task 2. Halimbawa, many people are struggling to find jobs recently. Nakita? Yung ginamit ko na word? Recently. Now. These days. Today. Huwag gagamitin nowadays. Alright? So pag nakita niyo yung mga recently, today, these days, currently, at present, am, is, are, plus verb ing. So, ginagamit ba natin siya? Yes. Ginagamit din ba natin si simple present? Yes, mas madalas. So, what I'm trying to say here, Sir Vance, because I believe we had this conversation already. We always remember one thing when it comes to speaking and writing. So, there's no general formula na kapag writing task 2, puro ito lang ang gagamitin ko. Pag writing task 1, ito lang gagamitin ko. That's why the reason is I am telling you the uses. So, saan natin pwedeng gamitin si present progressive tense? So, we use it for present and finished action now. Isang bagay na hindi pa tapos. Di ba? I am making my project. Hindi pa ako tapos. I am still cooking the dish. Hindi pa ako tapos magluto. Diba? Temporary situation. Diba? I am living far away from my family. It means it's not going to be taking you a very long time. Something new in contrast to the previous state. I am, or she is doing her laundry. That's something new in contrast with the previous state. Where is your sister? Is she watching TV now? No. She is actually doing her laundry now. So, apart doon sa panonood ng TV, may iba pa siyang ginagawa. Diba? Changes and development. So, pagpasok doon sa criteria, may unfinished action, temporary situation, something new, change and development, kahit writing task 2, kahit speaking pa yan, gagamitin niyo yan. That is the real deal. So, walang general formula sa writing. So, lagi, yung grammar, siya ang mag-modify. Let's say, ang gagamitin kong idea is pagbibigay ng general information, pagbibigay ng truth. So, gagamit ako ng simple present. Ngayon, may sasabihin ako, in the past, many years ago, many decades ago, gagamit ako ng past. Pero, kapag gagamit naman ako ng present progressive, like what I've given you as an example, meron kang now, currently, recently, these days, today. Pwede mong gamitin yan. Alright, Sir Vance?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Within the sentence yan, sir, ano? Pag in-startan mo ng now, recently, these days. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Exactly. Ayan na. So present perfect versus simple past. So we do not need to remember their names. So present perfect versus simple past. Kahit na po ito ay present, this pertains to a past action. So both of them, past actions. So may kinalaman siya sa nakaraan. Mga bagay na tapos na. Nakaraan. Alright? But the difference is, ito yung difference ha, ito yung difference. Listen carefully. The difference is yung present perfect, hindi ibinibigay yung time. Listen. Si simple past, ibinibigay yung time. So most especially, we use the simple past sa writing task 1 academic. ACAD, ginagamit niyo sa inyong writing task 1. Dahil doon kayo may mga time expressions tulad ng 1995, di ba? 2003, 1900s to 2020, even 2021 is already in the past. So if you're going to use 2020, 2021, even yesterday, for crying out loud, that's in the past. Di ba? This morning, kahit this morning pa yan, kaninang umaga lang, di ba? This morning, I had my coffee. I used the past tense of the possessive be verb. So, the possessive verb, had. So, simple past pa rin ang gagamitin ko. Yesterday, last month, 2 weeks ago, sometime in the past, di ba? 1997, 1993, 2004. So, if there is a specific time given, you will be using the simple past. Now, for present perfect, the action is finished. Pareho silang nasa past. And the specific time is not given. Sort of, si present perfect, may kinalaman siya sa pagbibigay ng experience. Like you had that experience. So mostly, si present perfect, ginagamit natin more usually, ng mas madalas, sa speaking. Kasi sa speaking, dun tayo mas tinatanong ng mga experiences natin. Personal experiences, right? So, hindi ko sinasabing always ha. Again, baka may maisip na naman yung iba na pag speaking, present perfect lang gagamitin ko. No. Okay, if the examiner is asking you facts about yourself, use the simple present. If the examiner asks you about some experiences that you do not intend to give the time expression, then of course you will be giving, you will be using the present perfect. But if there's a time expression like yesterday, last week, when was the last time you went to the mall? Last week, I went to the mall. So you will be using simple past still, di ba? So si present perfect, para lang ito sa saying, I have the experience. I had the experience of. Alright, so paano po ba natin binubuo ang sentence structure ng isang present perfect? It's so simple. Alright, so you'll be using the has or have plus past participle. So pag sabi natin has or have plus past participle, eto siya. Okay, kulayan ko lang ito ng white para makapagsulat ako ng mas maayos. So si has and have plus past participle, I have seen, I have been, she has taken, we have eaten. Yan. Tapos na, pero walang time expression. Diba, kumain ka na ba? Oo, kumain na ako. Diba? Kevin, have you eaten your lunch yet? Yes, I have eaten my lunch already. Pero di ko sinabing kanina yon, kaninang umaga yon, kaninang tanghali yon, di ba? So kapag nilagay ko a few minutes ago, di ba? I ate my lunch a few minutes ago. I ate my lunch a few minutes ago. So that's the difference. Okay. So guys, tomorrow, your grammar 3, this will be talking more lengthily. This will be much longer tomorrow. Kasi papaliwanag talaga dun yung comparison ng present perfect and simple past. But the only thing, bakit ko hinandpick itong si simple present, present progressive, ito kasi yung common mistake. And why I use the present perfect and simple past as my verb tense of choice para dito, ito yung napaka-common na nakikita ko na mistake. Many people use has and have plus past participle sa task 1 na hindi dapat. They are using it in the process writing. They are using the has and have in pie charts na may time expression. So mali, doon nagiging mali yung tenses. So tenses are also a very integral part of grammar. So we have to put our attention to it as well. Alright, so ang dali ng simple past, di ba? Basta may nakalagay na time expression. Tulad ng yesterday. Yan, time expression yan. Last week, last month, last year. You will be using the simple past. Last week, I went to Pangasinan. Diba? Last month, I lost 5 kilograms. Yesterday, I was asleep the whole time. Diba? Last year, I was fat. For example lang. So, use the proper tense. So tomorrow, this will be much longer. Possibly, para lang sa present perfect and simple past, mga around 20 minutes doon sa aking replay video. So panoorin yung maigi yan. Alright, run on and comma splice. Guys, ito po, makakasama po ito sa inyong quiz mamaya. So pay attention ha, kasi live tayo. I-record ko to, makikita ng mga future classmates yung ano ba yan? Mali-mali sila sa run on, comma, so pakinggan yung mabuti. Alright. So what is a run on and what is a comma splice? So pag sinabi po nating run on, yung sentence mo, pinagdugtong mo yung parehong sentence na wala kang ginagamit na connector. Halimbawa, bawa lang, I like eating pizza. My sister loves eating pasta. Yan. So pinagsama ko yung I like eating pizza, my sister loves eating pasta. Pinagsama ko siya in a sentence. So I fused them without putting a comma, without putting a conjunction, or without putting a semicolon. So dapat dito, it's either I like eating my pizza, semicolon, my sister loves eating pasta. I like eating pizza, but my sister loves eating pasta. Put a comma. Pwede rin namang period. Diba? I like eating pizza. Meanwhile, comma, my sister loves eating pasta. So those are how you will be able to unfuse the run-on sentence. Okay. So ito yung mga fixes natin sa run-on sentence. Pwedeng semicolon, pwedeng gumamit ng coordinating conjunction, yung fanboys, pwedeng period to make 2 sentences, or pwedeng M-dash. This one is what I don't recommend kasi masyado na itong formal eh. So no use of M-dash. So pwedeng use a period, pwedeng kang gumamit ng subordinating conjunction, or pwedeng a comma, at saka maglagay ka ng coordinating conjunction na fanboys. Yung and, but, pwede mo siyang ilagay inside the sentence. Okay. Ito po yung mga conjunction. Guys, disregard nyo itong present perfect, simple past, wala yan. Sa conjunction po tayo. So ito yung mga pwede natin gamitin to combine the sentences together. Nasa inyo na yung listahan na ito mamaya. Bawa, while, until, as soon as. Submit this paper as soon as you finish your task. Diba? By the time I get back, you should be able to finish your assignment. So ilalagay natin siya in the sentence. Okay, so sentence types, we have simple sentence, one clause to form a simple sentence. So at the very basic, ang sentences po natin must contain subject, transitive verb, and a direct object. Pinag-aralan natin sa grammar 2, or perhaps you can go with a subject, intransitive verb, saka indirect object. Yan. Subject, intransitive verb, and indirect object. Or kahit subject, intransitive verb, yun yung pinaka-minimum requirement para makabuo ka ng sentence or what we call an independent clause. So it's very simple. Sinabi ko dyan, I bought pizza yesterday. Yan po ay isang independent clause. Ngayon, if I'm going to put a period, nakita nyo, naglagay ako ng period, sentence na yan. So it's so simple, di ba? Ngayon, pag bought pizza yesterday, walang I, so dependent clause. Or I lang, walang bought pizza yesterday. Or parang pizza yesterday, wala yung I bought, dependent clause. And ibig sabihin, it needs the other parts para mag-function. Okay? So, pag sinabing simple sentence, isang clause lang, isang simple sentence. May subject ka, may verb ka, may predicate ka, meron ka ng isang simple sentence. Si compound sentence, mag-fuse ka ng dalawang coordinating, ng dalawang sentence using coordinating conjunction, fanboys, for and nor but or yet so, compound sentence yon. Si complex, okay, just want to share, si complex po is, again, medyo komplikado siyang pag-usapan. We're going to use one main clause, one adverbial clause. Pwedeng mas marami yung adverbial clause. So hindi po ibig sabihin na mahaba ang sentence ay complex na. May mga sentences na mas mahaba siya pero simple lang siya. May mga sentences nga na mas mahaba talaga ha ang compound kaysa sa complex. Kasi si compound, dalawang independent. Si complex, isang independent, isang dependent. Di ba? And then we have the compound complex na mag-fuse ka at minimum 2 compound sentences o 2 independent clauses, isang compound sentence plus magdadagdag ka pa ng dependent clause. So, ito yung mga common conjunctions na nilalagay natin para maging dependent clause. Okay, ang isang sentence. All right. So, although this is your subordinating conjunction, let us break down the anatomy. She has always lived in France. Tingnan nyo ha, pwede natin alisin yung she has always lived in France. On its own, tanggalin natin lahat, yan ay sentence on its own. So, siya ay isang independent clause. She speaks fluent English. Pinagsama ang she has always lived in France, ang at she speaks fluent English, dalawang independent clause na. So, meaning, compound na ito. Eh, may because ka pa. Because her mother was American, another adverbial clause, and her father was Nigerian, isa na namang adverbial clause. So, at minimum, may dalawa tong independent at dalawang dependent clause. Ito ay sample ng compound complex sentence. All right. Tingnan ko lang ha kung dito yun. Tingnan ko lang guys ha kung nandito yun. Wala. Sige. Quiz tayo. Short exercise. Very, very short exercise. Sa sentence types. Okay. LP, pakisabi nga sa akin kung yung sentence po na I went to the city ay simple, compound, complex, or compound complex. Ito po ang pamimilian, ha? Or compound complex. Ayan. LP, yung bang I went to the city,
Ano sir, simple compound.
simple. Simple lang, simple.
Ay, simple sir.
Simple, simple. Hindi pwede pagsamahin, ha? Okay. So, simple sentence, tama ka dyan. Ngayon, May, ikaw naman ang tatanungin ko. I went to the city and ate ice cream.
Compound
your
po,
turn.
sir. Yes.
Compound.
Compound po, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
that
sir.
is a common error that many people commit.
Ah,
Akala nila, I went to the city and ate ice cream. Tinan mo to ha, Mai, paliwanag ko lang. Huwag ka muna mag-unmute para makita mo.
sige.
Itong si I went to the city, alright, ito ay independent clause. Meron kang subject
Yes,
I,
ma'am.
yung went mo yung verb to the city, doon kung saan ka pumunta. Yung ate ice cream, ito ay isa pang activity. So, dalawang activity. Dalawa yung verb. Went to the city, ate ice cream. So, simple lang yan. Dalawa lang yung ginawa mo eh. Okay? So, parang ganito, ano? I ate the pizza and the pasta. I ate the pizza, I ate the pasta. Ganun lang siya. Dalawa yung kinain mo, pero hindi sabihin compound sentence. Okay?
Simple pa rin.
Alright. Okay, susunod na tatanungin ko, ikaw naman, Sir Van. Sir Van, I went to the city, but she did not.
Ayan, sir, compound.
Compound. Dahil yung she at saka did, subject and verb, yung
Dependent.
I and
Yes.
went, subject and verb. At meron kang but para if used sila together.
Conjunction. Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. So, what about this? Riza, ikaw naman, Riza. My family and I went to the city. My family and I went to the city. Riza, yan ba ay simple, compound, complex, or compound complex?
Simple po, sir.
Simple. Di ba? May family lang at saka end. Sorry, may end eh. Conjunction. Ang kinumbine lang naman niya is yung subject. My family and I. Pero isa lang yung iyong verb. So, simple sentence lang ito. Okay, thank you very much guys for participating. So, parallel structure. Pag sinabing parallel structure, dapat balanse. Okay, the entities that you are going to put in your sentence should be balanced. So if you're going to enumerate something with ing, dapat lahat siya naka-ing. I like swimming, biking, and to play games on my computer. O mali yung to play. Dapat ing, and I like swimming, biking, and playing computer games. Ganyan. Ing, or to. Okay, so balanse sa parallel structure. Okay na to? Napakadali lang na to. Kayang-kaya niyan. Preposition. Si in, okay, time, preposition. Preposition of time in for centuries, decades, years. In 1946, in the 70s, in the 21st century, in ang gagamitin. Si on, para po yan sa date. Okay, so basta ang keyword natin dyan, para maging mag-on, kailangan mag-date. At kahit mag-on na, magde-date pa rin. Okay, so pag sinabing date, meron kang day. So on. Halimbawa, birthday. On my birthday. Yan. Holiday. On Rizal Day, on Christmas Day, days of the week, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday. On ang gagamitin. Now, kailan natin ginagamit si at? Para sa specific, para sa time. At 7 o'clock, at noon, at midnight, at night. Okay, at midday. Yan. Sir, paano kung magkakasama? May oras, may date ka, tsaka may year. So, at pa rin yun. At 7 o'clock on the 27th of July in 1973. So, pagsasama-samahin mo siya. Alright, in, on, at, preposition. So, for preposition ng location in, ginagamit natin ito for country, in the Philippines, in cities. Tandaan guys ha, pag countries, iilan lang po ang countries na nilalagyan natin ng the. Okay, kasama na po dyan yung the Philippines, the Netherlands, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, the Middle East. Every country, everything else, Ireland, New Zealand, Australia, hindi mo siya nilalagyan ng the. Diba? So dapat maging proud ka. Ang bansa mo ay isa sa mga bansa na nilalagyan ng the. Hindi pwedeng, I live in the China. Walang the doon. I live in China. My sister lives in China. So the, no the. So yung the Philippines, the Netherlands, the Middle East, the UK, the USA, nalagyan natin ng the in front. So kapag city, in Quezon City, in Nueva Ecija, in the Philippines, in. Pag naman on, para sa street, on the 33rd Street, on the 12th Avenue. Okay. May ginagamitan din tayo sa in, something inside something else. Okay, nasa loob ng isang bagay. Like in my bag, in my pocket, in a bucket, in my cup, in the room, 'di ba? In the house. Pag si on nakapatong, 'di ba? On the table, on the sofa, on my bed, on top, 'di ba? So si in, ginagamit din natin 'to sa mga written. Kapag ito po ay sinulat, tinype, may papel, libro, in a book, in the Bible, in the newspaper, in a magazine. Yan, in. Ngayon, pag on, para naman yun sa mga electronic. On Google, on my phone, on TV, on the radio. Yan. So yun yung paggamit ng in at saka ng on. So be careful ha. Si at specific location, at school, at the hospital, yan. At the mall. Yan. Okay. All right. Okay na to. Okay. So simple present versus present progressive. Sasagutan lang po natin yan. This workshop takes place or taking place. NAS. Takes place or taking place. Dito sa number 1. This workshop takes place in the art gallery or this workshop is taking place in the gallery. Okay. Sir Nas, di kita marinig. Pwedeng i-type mo na lang sa ating chat.
Takes place, sir.
Takes place. Okay, narinig na kita, sir. Okay, narinig ko na si sir. Sabi niya, takes place. Tama, dahil may every. Pag every, nangangahulugan na ito ay palaging nangyayari, ito ay habit. So, takes place, not is taking place. Alright. So, next, natatanungin ko, ikaw, LP. Balik tayo ulit kay LP. Number 2. The whole team performs well at the moment or the whole team is performing well at the moment? Yan. Performs versus is performing. So number 2. Ano? LP?
Performing, sir.
Is performing. Bakit? Dahil sa at the moment.
Yes, sir.
Malinaw? Okay. Thank you so much, LP. Dahil sa at the moment, kaya siya is performing. Alright. Now, in the UK, students enter or students are entering. Number 3. Tayo ba ay enter or are entering?
Enter po.
Enter
In the
lang
UK.
dahil wala namang
Yes,
nakalagay doon na now. Tama, Mike?
Opo.
It is stating a fact. So tama. Enter. Number 3. Number 4. Natural gas prices are falling or fall. Riza. Natural gas spot prices are falling or natural gas spot prices fall.
Are falling, sir.
Are falling kasi as a result of a relatively warm weather in much of the US. May pagbabago eh. Okay, compared doon sa kanyang previous state. Kaya are falling. Tama ka dyan, Riza. Tatalino ng mga students ko. Diba? Dito sa 5, Green plants consume carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Subject mo is my S, so yung consume at saka release, walang magbabago. What are you doing? I'm trying to write an essay, number 6. Number 7, please be quiet. I want to watch the game, or I am wanting to watch the game. I want to watch the game. The company operates a wide range of cultural sightseeing every year. Dahil sa every year, magiging operates at hindi is operating. My parents are sailing around Western Italy this summer. Probably won't be back until late September. Paula is busy right now. Dahil sa may now, she is talking on the phone. Kayang-kaya. Diba? Yan po yung ating mga sagot. So, nasa inyo yan mamaya sa inyong handout. Ito, di na natin ito sasagutan. Parallel structure. So, para sa parallelism na hindi ko masyadong na-explain kanina. Okay guys, sasagutan natin. Number 1, gusto ko mag-participate kayo sa chat. Ano po ang sagot natin? Basahin nyo using your mind. Number 1, is it A or B? Tingnan natin sa chat ha. Number 1, is it A or B? Basahin ko, the symposium explained how to respond quickly, appearing capable, and how to ask for help. Or the symposium explained how to respond quickly, how to appear capable, and how to ask for help. Letter A or letter B? Unang sagot, si Sir Nas. Ang answer niya is B. Let's wait for the other participants. Ang makakasagot po ng pinakamaraming tama ay may 5 pesos sa GCash. Yan. 5 piso to. Ano? Sayang din niya. Makakabili kayo ng 5 pieces of Max Candy. Okay. Ano nangyari sa iba? Tulog na? LP, Mai, Naz, Vandal Ryan, Riza? Tulog na ba kayo? LP, ang sagot ni LP ay A. Sagot ni Sir Vandal Ryan ay A. So isa pa lang ang sumasagot sa B, si Sir Nas. Si Mai, sumagot siya, letter B. So even na po ang ating participants. Riza? Okay, ang sagot naman ni Riza ay B. Guys, ang tamang sagot po ay B. Bakit po B ang ating tamang sagot? Tingnan nyo ha, parallelism. Lahat dito may how to. Tingnan nyo ha. How to respond quickly, how to appear capable, and how to ask for help. Okay, eto, how to respond, tas naging appearing. Oh, hindi pwede yun. So to respond, to ask, bakit may ing? Hindi siya parallel, hindi siya balance. So number 1, B po ang ating sagot. Number 2. Ayun, lumabas na yung sagot sa 2. Hindi ko na itatanong yan ha. Lumabas agad eh. Okay. Number 2B, Judith dislikes people who are rude, selfish, and self-centered. So number 1, number 2B po ang ating sagot. Number 3, not only did I have to run 30 kilometers, but I also had to cross the bridge. I not only had to run 30 kilometers, but also cross the bridge. Number 3, pick your answer. Letter A, letter B. I'm just going to drink some water ha. Balikan ko kung ano yung sagot niyo. Key in your answer. Number 3, letter A or letter B? All right, may nakita na akong 4 na sagot. So I have Riza, Vandal Ryan, Riza, LP, Mai, Nas. All of them answered A. Congratulations, guys. All of you guys are correct. Number 4, the politician responded to the question both promptly and cleverly. And or letter B, the politician both gave a prompt response and a clever one to the question. So number 4, LP, Riza, Mai, Nas, and Vandal Ryan. Is it letter A or letter B? For item number 4, is it letter A or letter B? Nahihirapan ba? Okay. Sir Nas answered letter A. What about the others? Sir Van also answered letter A. Mai and LP, including Riza, answered letter A as well. So you guys are also correct. Number 3, number 4, letter A. So promptly, cleverly. Parehong may li. Parehong adverb. Okay. What about number 5? Neither scolding the child nor beating him did any good. Or neither a sound scolding nor trying to beat the child did any good. Number 5, is it going to be letter A or letter B? Okay. Ang bibilis sumagot ngayon na. Taas ng confidence level eh. Tatlong sunod na correct eh. No? So I have here LP, Riza, Mai, and Van answered letter A. Pati pala si Sir Nas. Okay. Number 5. Okay, what about number 6? My French is improving slowly but surely, or my French is improving slow but surely. Number 6, A or B? Number 6, letter A or letter B? Ayan, ang sagot nila po ay letter A. So, tama po ang sagot. Number 5 and number 6, the answer is letter A. Ayan. Number 7, they are leaving the party hurriedly and quietly, or they are leaving the party hurriedly and quiet. Number 7, A or B? Okay. So everybody answered letter A, which is correct. Number 8, James walks in reading, or James walks and reads, letter B, number 8. So A or B? Number 8, key in your answer. Ayan, mas mabilis na silang sumagot. So I have received 3 letter Bs already, 4. Okay. All of you guys answered B, correct. Number 8, letter B po. 7A, 8B. Number 9, we spend time listen and laughing at our favorite show. Letter A or letter B, we spend time listening to and laughing at our favorite show. Number 9, letter A or letter B? Okay, ang sagot po nila ay B. Correct. Number 10, they exercise daily, maintain a special diet, and get proper sleep. Or, letter B, tingnan nyo. They exercise daily, maintained a special diet, and they get proper sleep. Number 10, letter A or letter B? So far, may dalawa na pong sumagot, tatlo, letter A. Mai included, Mai, LP, Van, and Nas. Ikaw na lang hinihintay namin, Riza and LP. Okay, letter A. Si Riza. Okay. Wala bang sasagot ng B dito sa number 10? Ito? Ayaw nyo to? Kasi pag ito salita, sabi ko sa inyo, pag yan ang sinagot nyo, kahit nasaan ka man sa Pilipinas, susugurin kita. Alright. So that is the end po of our lecture. But we still have an upcoming quiz. I have prepared something for you guys para po sa ating quiz for today. So it's very simple. I want you guys to have, teka, I'm going to share this to you. So for my future replay watchers, this will be the end of the video. I'm going to cut it right now. So I wish you well.